Morning, everybody. I hope that you are all doing well. Today's lesson plan is about calling a show. Cue calling is, every stage manager will tell you, cue calling is the fun part about being a stage manager. It's when you get to be another character in the show. Um, the power of properly placing a cue. It's nothing that words can really describe, but some videos and me are going to give it a shot today for you all. The first thing to remember is that tech is always a learning process. It's a learning process for the crew, it's a learning process for the cast, it's a learning process for you too. It's when you get to learn what your track is, what your job is in the show. Um, it's when you get to be an artist. Calling cues well is an art form. You can feel where the cues go, you feel the power of making it all happen. It's really cool. Um, Tech is also when we get to implement the artistic vision of the director and the designers. Um, I think the cue calling video, at least the first one from David McGraw, will show you when cues are called well, when they aren't called well, and will let you see what the differences are. Um, the lecture itself talks a little bit about sound mixing. I don't talk really about lighting in the same terminology because in theater, lighting is really somebody who's pushing a button or you have follow spot operators. Lighting becomes more of a fluid art form in corporate events, in benefits, in rock and roll concerts. In rock and roll concerts, a lighting designer is often the person who is creating the looks on the fly. They may have pre-programmed a few looks prior to it, but they also may be just writing faders the same way the sound engineer or A1 does in a musical for theater. But for the most part, lighting is pushing a button, and sound differs, as I talk about in the lecture, whether it is a musical or a play. So, the one other thing that I would really want you to take from the lecture today is standbys. Standbys are the job. Really, truly, that's what the crew has to do. If you think about it, that over the course of your 3 hour show, a crew person might actually be performing a duty for work a total of 15 or 20 minutes. If you put all those cues together, it might take 15 or 20 actual minutes to perform those cues. But if they are not ready and able to perform the cue when the stage manager says go, somebody could be hurt. So if you're backstage and you're in standby, you are in standby. I don't care if somebody says, "Excuse me, I need to get by." You don't let them by. Your job is to be in standby. And once you are in standby, that's it. Nothing else matters but waiting for the go from the stage manager. Um, and finally, if anybody wants a phone or a video conference, as I've said before, just let me know. I think that you all now realize that I am absolutely available to you. I'm trying to answer all your emails, anything that comes in a semi-timely fashion. I'm happy to review your progress on your prompt books. If you have not already, please review the assignments. They are posted on Blackboard, and the prompt script has changed a little bit since I can no longer collect 20 books to look at. Uh, I've changed it a little bit, but still enough that I think that you will be able to tell me that you know what is needed for a prompt book. Anyway, I hope that you're all doing well. Please let me know if you have any questions. The final part of the lesson plan today you will see is a cue calling exercise. Um, Make sure that you take a look at all the notes on the script. There are a bunch of handwritten notes. Um, they will clue you in as to what the cue is, anything special. Um, it will take you back to blocking days. If you look at the notes, the H with the circle is Harvey. Remember, character names get little circles around them so that we know who they are. But when you look at those blocking pages, you'll see there's not that much actual room to write full sentences, and there's not that much time to read a novel while you're calling this show. Um, It's a great sequence. You will mess up several times before you start to get it right. I highly encourage all of you to run it over and over and over until you do nail it, because when you do nail it, you're really going to have fun with it. Um, it entails looking up at the script, up at the scene and down at your script and going back and forth, and that's what stage managers have to do every day in every show when there are shows. Anyway, I hope that you're all well. Please reach out if you need anything. Um, and I will talk to you all again next week. Take care, all right?